Welcome to an After the Hurricane Safety video. I'm Tom. We'll be talking about some things you'll need after a hurricane and things that will also protect you and make you a lot happier in the days after a major hurricane. First up, we're going to talk about generators. And generators can be great. They can power your refrigerator so the food will not spoil. They can run a small air conditioner, and they can also be your worst nightmare if you do not read the manual and all the safety precautions in that manual. Our next graphic is how you hook it up. And this is dangerous, where somebody basically takes a cord and runs it from the generator straight into an outlet that you have just outside. It sometimes will work and sometimes it won't. And one, it's not fused other than whatever the breaker is on the generator, and you can also end up killing the power company if they come out to work on the power pole. It feeds back through. This is the way it should be hooked up. There is a separate panel, a separate outlet outside that your generator hooks to, and it actually disconnects from the power going up to the transformer, which protects the lineman. Now this is something you don't want to do, and I've seen a lot of this back in '92, is the old double male cord where somebody plugged it into the generator and then plugged it into an outlet in the house, and it ended up energizing all the way up to the transformer. And a lot of linemen, they had to test to make sure that there was no feedback from people running generators. It's a very dangerous thing to do. Just having that cord is dangerous. Next thing with the generator is when they're new, they have a tendency to burn some oil. So you really need to have some extra oil. They'll tell you what type you need in your manual. Read through the manual. And you just need probably 1 quart. But they could burn some oil when they're new, just like a car when it breaks in. Next thing is, how close can I have it to the house? Most manufacturers all say at least 20 feet because of the fumes that come out. Possibly if you have one running on propane, you might be able to use it a little bit closer, but never put it in a garage or close to the house. What kind of cord do I need? You need a 12 gauge cord. And this one, if you look at it, it actually has what's called a twist lock, which a lot of the newer generators use. They're very good, but you'll have to see what type of generator you got. But definitely, you need a cord that's at least 12 gauge. Next up is cooking. You're going to need to cook. And a gas grill is a great way to cook and heat water. And just have an extra propane bottle on hand, because there's nothing worse than running out of propane, especially when you're cooking, or you go to turn it on and it runs 2 or 3 minutes and that's it. Now you can also use one of these, a charcoal grill, but you're going to have to need a lot of charcoal and a lot of a way to start it, which is either going to be matches and charcoal lighter fluid and all those things. So that it'll work, but it's more a problem. Next thing is going to be water. Many times when the power goes out, the water pressure goes down in the city system, and you need to boil the water, or you have just no water at all in some cases. So you need a container. They're not expensive for drinking water. Now this is something that's new. I just seen this. This goes in your tub, and it's basically like a big plastic bag, and it holds a lot of water, uh, and you put it in the tub. Much better than the old system where you used to put wax around the drain and hope that it didn't leak, and a day later all the water is out of your tub. So this is really neat. If you really get into a pinch, there's always water in your toilet tank. And we're not talking the bottom, we're talking the top tank. But you will need to probably treat that with some bleach or some other type, like these tablets here. These are water purification tablets. They're very cheap. You can get them probably at your big box store. You can get them at any hunting and fishing store. They don't go bad, and they're really good. So let's say you can't find all that. Well, you could always boil it. That's what people have done for a very long time. Bring it to a boil and boil it about 10 minutes, and that should take care of most pathogens. What are you going to need? You're going to need gloves, because you're going to be picking up limbs, you're going to be picking up broken glass, you're going to be picking up a lot of sharp objects, so you need a good set of gloves always on hand. And sunscreen. You may not think about this, but usually the next day after a hurricane, it's bright, sunny, and it's usually hotter than it's been in days. So you definitely need sunscreen. And also a hat. That is one of the things I wish I would have had in 1992, but I didn't have a nice straw hat, and I didn't have sunscreen, and I was burnt up after a day of work. And bugs. All that rain, within a few days to a week, you're going to have more mosquitoes than you know what to do with, especially in Florida. So bug repellent is a must. Another thing would be a cheap portable radio, an AM/FM radio. They're very cheap, and they use usually AA or AAA batteries, and at least you can hear the weather report, you can hear any warnings or what the officials are telling you to do. And make sure you have batteries. Go to the Dollar Tree, go to any discount store and just get some of the cheap batteries. Have them on hand. You could always use them later on for your remotes or something. This is what I got. It's hard to see. I don't have a good picture of it. But this is a solar powered battery pack. And you can use this to run things. I believe it's 5 volts, but you can also charge your cell phone with solar. And another thing you need definitely is a flashlight. And if you get one, make sure that you get LED. Do not get the ones with the regular bulbs. The LED ones, the battery life is so superior. You don't have to worry about it eating through batteries left and right. This is very new, and I like this. This is at one of the big main stores, and it is an LED lantern, and it also has 2 little flashlights, and you can charge it in the car. So that is really neat, and they're not very expensive. So a couple quick things I want to tell you about the generators. Never fill the generator with gas while it's running. Turn it off, let it cool down. A lot of fires happen that way in 92. We appreciate you tuning in. Make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, and I wish we had more time. There's probably 1,000 more things we could talk about. But stay safe, and all our prayers are out there for everybody during this hurricane.